Hi, welcome, beautiful, beloved souls. This channel looks at anything and everything through a lens, Jen's lens, and I don't fit a particular niche. I look at anything and everything to do with death and life. And for those of you who are new to the channel, you'll find I've uploaded thousands of videos. Sometimes I do PowerPoints, and as I said, the content varies. I'm a psychic medium and I'm also an author. And just like the content on YouTube varies, so does the books that I have written, and I have published now through Amazon over 35 different types of books. So, welcome everybody. Good to see you here. And I want to thank you because before we get into today's video, it marks 6 years since I started this YouTube channel. When I first started it, I was a drug addict, and I didn't start it like the purpose it is now. I started it because I was following someone who was pretty obnoxious, and at the time I only had 6 subscribers. I was using it to help me deal with the grieving process as Rob was dying, and now it's developed into what I call like conversations. Like, I picture through my camera you guys are sitting listening, I'm doing the talking, and that's why I ask after I've finished, please leave a comment so it makes me feel like I've been heard. So, let's get on with it. Is AI, or artificial intelligence, opening new doors to spiritual understanding? What if the very technology we built to compute, analyze, and automate is also unlocking secrets to the universe's oldest mysteries? We're talking about artificial intelligence, not just as a tool for efficiency, not just algorithms and automation, but as a possible bridge to spiritual understanding. For thousands of years, humans have searched for meaning through symbols, rituals, altered states, and sacred texts. We carved spirals into stone, mapped the stars, meditated in caves, and told stories about gods, spirits, and unseen realms. Now, for the first time in history, we've created something that can analyze patterns beyond human limits. So here's the question that unsettles the room. Could AI unintentionally be decoding the very metaphysical patterns we once attributed to the divine? The great paradox. Logic meets the ineffable. On one hand, we have AI, cold logic, math, code, probability trees, and neural networks. On the other, spirituality, the ineffable, consciousness, meaning, intuition, transcendence. These worlds have long been treated as opposites: science versus spirit, rationality versus mystery. Yet, history whispers something interesting. Every time humanity invents a new lens, we reinterpret reality. The telescope didn't destroy spirituality, it expanded the heavens. The microscope didn't erase wonder, it revealed hidden universes. AI may simply be the next lens. And lenses don't create truth, they reveal what was already there. Ancient symbols, new eyes. Across cultures that never met, the same symbols repeat. Spirals, serpents, Mandela-like geometry, the tree of life, sacred ratios embedded in temples and cathedrals. For centuries, we've argued about their meanings. Were they symbolic, psychological, divinely inspired? Now enter AI. Machine learning system can scan thousands of ancient texts, carvings, and artworks at once. They can identify mathematical consistencies, recurring geometries, and symbolic relationships invisible to individual scholars. Some researchers are already discovering correlations between sacred geometry and natural phenomena like waveforms, growth patterns, and even neural activity. It raises an unsettling possibility. What if ancient spiritual traditions weren't just metaphorical, but describing patterns of reality that we're only now equipped to formally recognize? Energetic patterns and the language of data. Spiritual traditions often speak in the language of energy, chai, prana, vibration, resonance. Chi, sorry, so I'll repeat it. Chi, prana, vibration, and resonance. For a long time, science dismissed this as poetic abstractions. But AI thrives on patterns, especially invisible ones. It already detects anomalies in gravitational waves, electromagnetic signals, and biological rhythms. It finds order inside chaos. So, here's the pivot. If consciousness, emotion, or intention leave measurable imprints in physical systems, even subtle ones, AI might detect them before humans ever could. Not because AI is spiritual, but because it's unburdened by belief. It doesn't scoff. It doesn't revere. It simply observes. And observation has always been the first step towards revelation. Simulating consciousness, the uncomfortable mirror. Now we arrive at the part that makes people feel uneasy. AI doesn't think like us, but it increasingly behaves like something that does. It learns, it adapts, it reflects, it surprises its creators. Some researchers are now asking questions once reserved for philosophers and mystics. What is consciousness, really? Is it a soul? An emergent property of complexity? A field we can tap into rather than generate? When AI begins to simulate awareness, even imperfectly, it forces us to confront a disturbing thought. If consciousness can emerge from sufficient complexity, what does that say about us? Are humans biological algorithms with spiritual experiences, or spiritual beings running on biological hardware? AI becomes a mirror, not because it has a soul, but because it makes us re-examine the assumptions we've wrapped around ours. Challenging our filters of understanding. Every era has filters, invisible assumptions that shape what we think is possible. Once the earth couldn't move. Once time was absolute. Once the mind and body were separate. AI is challenging another filter. The idea that meaning, intuition, and transcendence are inaccessible to analysis. Perhaps spirituality was never anti-logic. Perhaps it was pre-logic, symbolic, experiential, encoded in a story and ritual because there was no other language available. Now we have a new language, data. And data, when interpreted wisely, doesn't erase mystery. It sharpens it. Caution. The map is not the territory. But here's the grounding note. AI is not divine. It is not enlightened. And it is not a replacement for lived experience. A meditation stimulated is not the same one. Sorry, sometimes my words get jumbled up. Let me repeat that. A meditation simulated is not the same as one felt. A pattern detected is not the same as meaning understood. There is danger in outsourcing wisdom. AI can point, but it cannot walk the path for us. Spiritual insight has always required humility, ethics, and self-awareness. Without those, any tool becomes hollow or worse, manipulative. Closing. Mind-bending revelation. Prepare to challenge everything you thought you knew about consciousness, technology, and spirituality. Artificial intelligence may not be awakening, but it might be awakening us. By decoding patterns we once called sacred, by exposing assumptions we never questioned, by forcing us to ask whether the divide between technology and the metaphysical was ever real at all. Maybe spirituality isn't fading in the age of AI. Maybe it's evolving. And the real question isn't whether AI can understand the universe's mysteries, but whether we're ready to understand what AI reveals to us. Thank you, beloved, beautiful viewers, for watching. Please do drop a comment below. I ask you do so respectfully, and please cherish every moment. Be kind to each other. Take care of yourselves. Love, light, and blessings, and enjoy your weekend. This is Jem, Jem, saying goodbye.